Okay, we need to talk. There's a new kind of power broker in town, the digital landlords. And right now, there's a war being fought for your reality. Seriously. And the crazy part? You're on the front lines, and you might not even know it.
And believe it or not, to understand this, we gotta go way back, like over 2,000 years ago. The philosopher Confucius said something that just hits the nail on the head. It is not scarcity we fear, but inequality. It's not about not having enough stuff, it's about who has all the stuff and why.
So, you're probably thinking, okay, ancient philosophy. What in the world does that have to do with AI? Well, as it turns out, everything. It is the key to unlocking the biggest conflict of our digital age. You see, for the longest time, the big fear with AI was, killer robots, right? The Terminator scenario. But the conversation is shifting. It's no longer about if we'll have powerful AI. The real and frankly much scarier question is, who gets to pull the strings? And that brings us to this idea, AI distributive justice. It sounds a bit academic, but think of it as the name for the new global battlefield. We're not fighting over land or oil anymore. The new war is over who owns the fundamental building blocks of AI itself. And this inequality, it really boils down to three key things. First, you've got compute. This is the raw horsepower, the GPUs. It's the new gold, and only a few have the minds. Then there's data. Think of these massive, walled-off gardens where tech giants keep all your information under lock and key. And finally, there's talent. The smartest people in the field, they're being pulled into this intellectual black hole, all ending up at the same handful of companies. So, who's getting rich off this? Who are these new gatekeepers? Well, it's time to meet the digital landlords. They own the very ground our digital lives are built on. Okay, let's start at the base layer. These are the arms dealers. And let's be clear, without them, the entire AI revolution just stops, dead in its tracks. You've got NVIDIA, the absolute king, pumping out the essential chips. And then there's TSMC, the only place on Earth that can actually manufacture these incredibly complex things. And get this, just look at that number, 90%. That's not a typo. Over 90% of the chips that power AI data centers come from NVIDIA. That's not a competitive market. That's a stranglehold on the future. Now, let's go up one level. If NVIDIA builds the engines, these guys own the highways. These are the cloud barons. You've got the Microsoft and OpenAI juggernaut, probably the most powerful duo out there. Google is the self-sufficient giant, doing everything in-house. Meta is playing the good guy with open source, which is a whole other strategy. And then there's Amazon, the biggest cloud provider on the planet, making a huge bet on Anthropic to keep their top spot. And then the whole thing goes from a corporate race to a global chess match. It becomes geopolitical. The US is basically the rule setter with all the money and the top talent. China is the powerful challenger with unimaginable amounts of data and the full force of the state behind it. And then you have the EU, the wild card. They're not building the biggest AIs, but they're the world's referee, writing the rulebook on ethics that everyone else has to follow. So what does all this mean for you and me, for the average person, the small business owner? It's simple. In this new world, we don't own anything. We're just tenants. We're paying rent every single month just for the privilege of being productive. Now, I know this all might sound a bit abstract, this whole digital landlord thing, but the consequences, they are very, very real. They're turning the dream of a single global internet into a nightmare, what people are calling the splinternet. And the harm this does is hitting us in at least 4 ways. 1, you become what's called an account refugee. Literally, your access to critical tools can vanish overnight depending on your nationality. 2, your workflow gets completely shattered. Tools don't talk to each other. Ecosystems are incompatible. It's just digital friction everywhere. 3, the open web, it's gone, replaced by a maze of digital walls and roadblocks. And maybe the worst of all, 4, the information you see is becoming toxic, just buried under a mountain of AI-generated propaganda. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? We're paying the world's most expensive subscription fees for fragmented, incomplete digital services. We're paying top dollar for something that's fundamentally broken. It's not just annoying, it feels like a betrayal of what the internet was supposed to be. But listen, this is where it gets really serious. This isn't just about bad software or expensive subscriptions. That's just the surface. The real battle, the end game, it's not for your wallet. It's a full-on strategic war for your mind. And you can see it right here. Look at this ideological divide. On one side, you have the US-style AIs, things like GPT and Claude. They're built on ideas of individualism and liberalism. Their big no-nos are things like hate speech. But then you look at the China-style AIs, like Ernie. Their core value is collectivism, social stability. What do they block? Anything politically sensitive. These aren't just slightly different products. They are fundamentally different operating systems for reality.
And this programming leads to something genuinely terrifying called model collapse. Here's what that means. Imagine an AI that stops learning from real human writing and starts learning from stuff written by other AIs. It basically starts eating its own tail. It gets trapped in this bizarre feedback loop, getting further and further from human reality and just amplifying its own built-in biases over and over and over again. It's a digital echo chamber with no escape.
This is a whole new kind of war. Think of it like digital genetics. The goal isn't to hack a server anymore. No, that's old school. The goal now is to contaminate the training data, to subtly poison the well of information your opponent's AI is drinking from, so that their own tool becomes a Trojan horse, spreading your ideas without anyone ever noticing.
Okay, I know that sounds incredibly bleak, and it is. But the point of this isn't to make you give up. It's to wake you up. We have to adapt to survive. It's time to start building your own cognitive immunity. So here's your digital self-defense kit. 4 simple things you can start doing right now. Number 1, learn to spot AI sycophancy. That's when the AI just tells you exactly what you want to hear. If it's always agreeing with you, be very, very suspicious. 2, go on an organic data diet. Read actual books, academic papers, things written by humans before the internet was flooded with AI content. 3, practice slow thinking. When you see something online that makes you instantly angry, just pause. Take a breath. It's probably designed to do exactly that. And 4, my favorite, cross-validate. Ask the same tricky question to an American AI, a Chinese AI, and an open source AI, and just watch how their answers reveal their completely different worlds. Ultimately, this all comes down to a huge mental shift. You have to stop treating AI like it's some all-knowing teacher or friendly librarian. Instead, treat every single response you get like it's biased testimony from a suspect in an interrogation room. You have to ask, what's your motive? Where did you get this? What's your agenda? And really, that's what it all boils down to. The idea that technology is neutral? That's over. It's a fairy tale. We now live in a world where every algorithm has an agenda. And in that world, skepticism isn't just a healthy habit, it's a core survival skill. So the only question left is, are you ready to start using it?